So it's been officially 25 days since I've been on the carnivore diet. Now, I'll be frank, I have had small moments of weakness where I've eaten things like peanuts and, some walnuts and almonds and whatnot. But thankfully, it's always been small amounts, and I don't think it's really caused me any issues. As far as any weight loss, I've noticed no weight loss, which is actually good. For some context, I have been eating easily over 200 grams of protein a day in red meat usually, and over 200 grams of fat in a day, also usually from red meat or some eggs. And the fact of the matter is that when your body goes to be fat adapted on the carnivore diet, that means that your body is almost always going to be oxidating fat for energy instead of glucose, right? Well, the thing is that if you're not gaining any weight, even if you're eating over 200 grams of fat in a day, and by the way, that protein does not get turned into an energy source. Your body will go ahead and use all that protein to repair cells, to repair protein, repair tissue, basically just go and think of protein as a building block and fat as a precursor to hormones or just a flat out energy source. But anyways, point is that even though I haven't gained or lost any weight, I've maintained my weight and I've eaten to complete satiety every single day. Some days actually I've eaten very well past other days. Some days I've eaten up to 4 pounds of prime rib, when there's like a weekend special or whatever. But I have not really gained any weight. And I realize it's because I've been eating so much fat. Now, I had a conversation with somebody recently over YouTube where I brought up doing a protein-sparing modified fast. Essentially, it has a lot of the benefits of fat loss and fat oxidation from fasting without the downsides of losing lean muscle tissue or mass or lean body mass. So things like organs, gut lining, skin, and of course muscle, of course. Even though if you do it right when you're fasting, your body will spare protein, will spare muscle mass, and it'll just try and oxidate fat. But the fact is that even though I wasn't losing any noticeable or trackable weight, like at all, and I was confused because I was like, hey, it's been over 20 days on this diet. Usually you would see a couple of pounds after 2 weeks. Well, it's because I was eating so much fat. If you limit the fat temporarily, it's a protocol. You do it temporarily to, say, 100 grams of fat a day, and then eat your protein. What ends up happening is that your body will go ahead and use all that consumed fat. It'll use it as energy. It'll use it as a precursor to your hormones. And then once it's used up all of the dietary fat that you've consumed, it will then start to oxidate stored fat, right? Now, I've personally got a good 30 pounds of fat that I could lose and still be in healthy, optimal hormone health, right? I have 200 pounds, I could easily drop to 170 pounds and still be very healthy, right? But in order for me to effectively do this, I must eat less fat. Just eat less fat. And do it for a sustainable period of time. I started doing the protein-sparing modified fast about 3 days ago. So I'm on my 22nd day of my carnivore diet. And so far, I think that things are going well. I'm still doing OMAD, 1 meal a day. But my goal is to get down to 185 pounds. I think that's achievable. I think it's reasonable. Once I get to 185, I might go back up to high fat, simply because it's more satiating and it is healthier, right? The goal of carnivore is to eat healthy. It's to eat until you're full, eat until you're satiated, and to eat intuitively, right? Now, there's a lot of mitigating factors for me. I work nights. I've been working nights for almost a year now. I do not get enough sunlight in the day. My sleep quality has obviously considerably dropped, and that can absolutely affect your ability to burn fat, to oxidate fat. But at the end of the day, your body is going to oxidate stored fat when you are consuming less fat than you require to maintain your overall fat stores. Because when you're losing weight, you're not losing weight. Your goal is to oxidate fat. It's to target the fat and oxidate it. If you're in a fat oxidating state, and you will always be on carnivore, then all you need to do now is skip the middleman, and that means you just lower your fat. Now, you don't have to go and do a proper protein sparing modified fast. You don't have to go down to 20 to 30 grams. You can, but you don't have to. You can instead do a modified amount where, let's say you're oxidating 200 grams of fat a day, right? Now you just need to eat less than 100 grams of fat, and you'll be burning 100 grams of fat a day, which is about a fifth of a pound, which would turn to about 1.2 pounds, give or take, a week. And 1.2 pounds of fat is actually a lot. That's pretty good, you know. But yeah, that's fat oxidation.